Hey, it's January the 28th, 2018, and y'all recently I've been having a conversation with a good person. Uh, if you want to say a friend, definitely a good friend. I've been having a conversation about her digestive issues, all right, recently. But the thing is, what I gotta explain is, I've had so many conversations with so many folks about their digestive issues that you wouldn't believe. It actually would be quite disturbing if you knew how many that I had. I've had a lot. Right? This is a constant for me. I'm always, uh, I don't hardly ever bring it up. But by way of conversation, it will come up. There are serious digestive issues to the point where I notice it is kind of pandemic. I mean, it really is across the board. People with these digestion issues. And as some people know, all throughout my youth or whatever coming up, I also had digestive issues. Like I know what that can be like. I haven't had such excruciating situations and scenarios play themselves out like some people have, but I did have digestive issues for quite some time. I haven't for quite some time. Like I haven't had nothing wrong. Right. Thing is, although I haven't had nothing wrong, like almost everybody I know, what I had to explain to you, has something wrong. Right, a chronic illness of some sort, something that they had to deal with, something that's very much an issue in their life, and perhaps takes out time of their life, and perhaps it causes them pain and stuff. I, I'm hard pressed to find one person, all right, who doesn't have something or whatever. All right, so we're talking about digestive issues and stuff. Me and my good YouTube friend, we're talking about digestive issues. All right, to which I found it, because we are pretty good friends, I found it my place to kind of interject and just to suggest some things for her. And I wound up doing it. I want to go ahead and elaborate for everybody to kind of just get the opportunity to hear what I'm saying right now. All right, doctors, and I've seen it. See, the basic formula is you get real sick, you go to the doctor, they wind up giving you some sort of pills. Maybe they'll work, maybe they won't work. All right, sometimes they do work. All right, so you go to the doctor and get pills and stuff, and maybe they'll work, maybe they won't. All right, so if they won't, usually what I see tend to happen is you go back to the doctor, or maybe a different doctor, and you wind up getting pills or something like that. Basically, you'll get some pills, either that or you'll get surgery, or you'll get something else, maybe in an emergency situation where they had to do something pretty drastic. All right, that's what you're going to get from a doctor. All right, and I want to just dwell on that for a second and know that I've heard that. That's always what I hear. Always. What I want to point out, and what I pointed out before, is technically speaking, if you're to look at it in an objective standpoint, doctors aren't equipped to heal nobody necessarily. Not in the way like I said, we're referring to chronic illnesses, and I know so many people with chronic this and that. Most people I know have chronic this and that. Doctors, they're not taught how to heal a person. Technically speaking, they're not taught how to address a person. They're taught how to address a disease, address an ailment, address a deficiency. All right. See, when I walk into your room or your doctor room or whatever, I'm not an ailment. I'm not a deficiency. I'm not a disease. I'm a whole person. And there's lots of stuff going on in me. There's lots of stuff going on in every individual person. A doctor is not equipped to even handle that at all. At all. Not in the least. All right. They're equipped, you'll notice, to give you pills and hope that they work. And if they don't work, maybe put you on some other pills. Understand that. I see people on this merry-go-round constantly, all the time. And they'll tell me about it. And I'll either, talk to them about it, or maybe I'll just shut up because I know they won't listen, because they love doctors. Doctor can't heal you. A doctor can put a cast on your arm real good. A doctor can cut you up, put surgery if you need it. That is what they're good at. That's what they're taught to do. They're not taught to heal you from your chronic illness. And so therefore they never will. And to be quite honest, in a lucrative sense, it wouldn't make sense for them to do that at all, would it? All right. So with that being said, I noticed a lot of people went out and seen doctors. I don't blame you. That's kind of like the popular notion to do that. Doctors, like I said, are not equipped. From what I understand, from what I've been told, from what I've seen, from what I've gathered, it's actually biochemists who you want to talk to, because when you break down, it's the chemistry of biology, of life. It's the chemistry of life. It's how different things react to other different things in regards to life. It's called biochemistry. What you're gonna want to seek out is somebody who's a biochemist. Like when it comes to digestive issues, in particular, all right, you're definitely going to want to seek out the advice of a biochemist. All right, and then when it comes to, like, say, skin conditions, chances are that might have a lot to do with your digestive issues that you may not even know that you have, all right, or maybe you do know that you have them, but they are related because you're a person and everything's connected. You know what I'm saying? A biochemist is actually equipped to understand all these different connections, to address you as a whole, complete, entire person with context. That is what a biochemist is capable of doing. But you understand, people don't go to biochemists, all right? They don't go to them for the advice and stuff. They go to doctors and they remain being sick as a dog, dude. And it doesn't bring me no joy to say that. I really actually do. I feel for people because I don't have any chronic illnesses or whatever. You could say I'm lucky. I don't even believe in luck. You say I'm fortunate. I would say thank you. Thank you. I think I am fortunate because I used to have all sort of digestive issues and I don't no more. All right. I personally worked on my own personal diet and tried to figure out things. And I think I figured out a lot of things. Like I said, don't have no chronic illnesses. Right. And I mean, we're talking about all sort of illnesses. Maybe you can't sleep at night. All right. I know a lot of people can't sleep at night. Probably has a lot to do with your digestion. That's not to say that it has everything to do with it, but it probably has a little bit to do with it. It all comes back to that, because you understand that the most drastic thing that we do to our bodies is put whole foreign objects in our bodies and, you know what I'm saying, churn them up. That's the most drastic thing that we do, in a sense. I mean, you might live in China and you had to breathe in smoke all damn day, but other than that, that is the most drastic thing we do to our bodies, is put whole items, foreign items, and we call it eating. That's very drastic to the body, and therefore, you know, it's very concerning, and it usually is quite connected to all these ailments, chronic diseases, and things of this nature. Digestion is usually always an issue to think about, and if you're going to be thinking about it, you do have to contact someone who has experience in biochemistry. That is not a doctor. A doctor don't do that. All right. So I just wanted to establish that, but you know, as I've established that already, that doctors simply aren't equipped to heal you. If you want to be healed, don't go to a doctor necessarily. Maybe go to a doctor who you know or whatever and ask them for their suggestions or whatever, but don't expect them to heal you. They don't have a good track record of it. All right. So with that being said, like I said, I don't have any problems. I'm not asking for any problems. I'll knock on wood. I would hate to have some of the problems I've been told about. I go to sleep real easy at night. I don't have skin conditions. I don't have breathing problems. I don't have digestive issues and stuff. And I would hope that it stays that way, but I couldn't say. Here's the thing. You might call me fortunate and whatnot. All right. Okay. You know, I worked on my personal digestion and found out things about myself as an individual a while back. And there's all sort of stuff that I could share with you as far as coming to results for myself, but everybody is individuals. So I really couldn't tell you what's the silver bullet that's going to help you with your illness, because you are an individual. You're a whole person. You're very complex. All right. These pills, you got to understand, all these pills, whether they work or not, they're interacting with you on a way that you probably don't understand. If they do work, who knows what else they're doing? You're very complex. You're putting something very, like, drastic in your body, if you will. I mean, there's not even pills out in nature. Usually people used to use food for medicine. All right, traditionally speaking, I mean, Ayurvedic and all sort of, you know, Eastern traditions would use food. And there's a lot of Western traditions that use food as medicine. They don't use pills because the pills are so drastic. And who knows what side effects that they'll have, even if you don't feel the side effects right away. Who knows what they'll have? All right. So, anyways, like I said, I don't have any particular concerns. All right. But if I did have concerns, for anybody, what I would suggest to anybody, to include my daughter, and especially my daughter, if I knew my daughter had some of these illnesses coming up or popping their head up, the first person I would go to, and it's what I told this lady, the first person I would go to is Ben Fuchs. Period. That's the first person. I might diversify, and it's best to diversify. In fact, it's crucial that you diversify who you get your information from. As far as health, you should not be getting it from one place, because that's disastrous. That's what most people do, and it's disastrous to their health. All right. But the first person I would go to is Ben Fuchs. That's spelled Fuchs. You can find him here on the internet and stuff like that. I've known about this guy. I've listened to this guy for years and stuff. Like I said, I haven't had a chronic thing, all right, but still, I could see all the crazy information that's bursting about him that you'll never ever hear from a doctor ever. So, but I hear that information, and I gotta tell you, Ben Fuchs is not only like just the epitome of health. When you look at him and everything, he's glowing. He's old, but he's still glowing and stuff, man. He's just so full of health. You go to Ben Fuchs, and he's bursting at the seams with information. And no matter what your illness is, and there's a lot of classifications. There's so many classifications and abbreviations. It does not matter. You come to Ben Fuchs, and he'll have something to share with you. He'll have something to share with you about it. Not only that, he'll ask you all sort of questions. You notice that a doctor don't ask you that many questions. You know what I mean? Because they're not equipped. They're not capable to handle a whole entire person. I mean, there's so many factors, like where you come from, with your parents, how's your life, what's your stress, what's your career, how are your children doing, this and that. Doctor's never going to ask you that. All right. You'll find that people like Ben Fuchs will ask you all sort of questions that you weren't expecting to be asked, and concerns with your health. And not only that, they have some insight on no matter what your abbreviated ailment is. They have some insight on it to share with you, and multiple different suggestions of ways you can go about at relieving it. All right. We want to finish off this video real quick. Like I said, I would direct anybody to Ben Fuchs, and then after that, maybe Dr. Wallach, and then after that, maybe Dr. Group. And there's people out there who really know what the crap they're talking about. And I know about these people and stuff. I definitely direct you to them. What I got to say is it's going to take an outward effort. You can't be relying on a doctor to help you in this way. These people are going to teach you how to fish. They're not going to give you a fish. All right. And just to wrap up the video, you'll find that you can go to Ben Fuchs and find that he has all sort of products to help you with whatever ailment that you might have. All right. One such product that I would like to point everybody's attention out to, and there's so many products, is the probiotics. All right, because lots of times your doctor won't even talk to you about probiotics, or maybe they might give you some stupid probiotics, or maybe you've seen commercials on the television for probiotics, right? Let me just give you an example. All right, probiotics that you'll see on the television, maybe at maximum they'll have 1 billion cultures, and I know that sounds like foreign language to a lot of people, but think about the number billion. At maximum, they'll have 1 billion cultures, all right? You go to Ben Fuchs and you talk to Ben Fuchs for a while about your digestive issues, he'll let you know 1 billion don't mean nothing. 1 billion doesn't mean hardly nothing when it comes to probiotics. I've heard him say many times that if you really have a digestive issue that you're trying to get over, you're really talking about 25 to 30, 35, 40, 50 billion a day at least, perhaps 75 billion a day. So when people throw little probiotics at you that are 500 million or 1 billion, understand that it's actually garbage. But they just expect people to not know, I guess, because I have probiotics in the refrigerator right now that I like to take. They help me out a lot. All right. They start off at 25 billion. It's like if I take one little of my probiotics, all right, you're going to have to take 25 of the television's pills in order to get the same effect. And that's just amazing, isn't it? That's just one little tidbit. Like I said, there's so many products that you find on longevity, to include makeup, by the way. For women, that's actually more natural, and it won't mess up your face, because makeup messes up ladies' faces. Gives all sort of acne and things of this nature, problems that they had to deal with. They even, longevity even has makeup, but like I said, they have so many products, and you can find so many products at InfoWars store, in reference to digestive issues and all sort of chronic illnesses. All right, things to think about. But at the same time, like I said, I want to wrap up this video. At the same time, a lot of people be very skeptical, say, oh, he's got all sort of stuff to sell me. Ben Fuchs has all sort of stuff to sell me, and he's just trying to trick me like everybody else. Okay, maybe that's the case. Go ahead and listen to him. But what I want to explain, and what he'll explain to you after a while, is there's lots of solutions that you can come to for not only very cheap, but actually for free, instead of spending any money at all. All right, one thing to think about is, and what I suggested to this lady, is intermittent fasting. Ben Fuchs will definitely suggest for you to intermittent fast. If you have a chronic illness, if you have a digestive illness, if you have skin conditions, if you have some sort of debilitating pain, he would tell you to fast, intermittent fast. That's what he would tell you. And that actually costs nothing. And that's actually one of the most crucial things that a person can do. And actually there's a lot of biblical reference to fasting. All right. It's a very old practice. It's called intermittent fasting. We don't really hardly do it in America or in Western culture and stuff. We eat every day. All right. What I had to share with y'all is that I also eat every day. All right. I like food. I really do. So I do eat every day. In that sense, I don't fast in the way that Ben Fuchs talks about when he says intermittent fasting. He means not eating anything at all from when you wake up to when you go to sleep. Just don't eat. Just don't eat. And the thing is, most people, they don't ever get that suggested to them from doctors or anything else. They never get that suggestion, and they'll find that lots of times it really will help their situation. Like people with chronic illnesses, they'll experience a lot less pain on the days in which that they don't eat. Right, it's a very complicated situation, but suffice it to say is your body will concentrate on breaking down your whatever you put in your stomach, and it's going to cause you pain. All right, intermittent fasting. Thing is, like I've stated before, in like my workout, or not my workout videos, but my staying in shape videos or losing weight series. What I say is I don't personally fast for a whole day. I don't. The thing is, what I tend to do is I'll wake up and I'll just not eat for as long as I can. All right, that's a practice I do, and I'll talk to you about it if you want to talk about it, and I can give you some insights because I've done it. All right, I don't not eat on any days, but most days I'll go a long time without eating. I'll put it off and put it off and put it off and put it off until much later. All right, and I find that helps me out a lot. What I want to say to you is I don't have any chronic illnesses. I don't have all the things that y'all have, be it IBS, be it like skin things. I don't have any of these things. But if I did, and I was experiencing all sort of pain from it, the first thing that I would try, which is completely for free, is to fast for an entire day and not eat, and see how that affects me. Does it affect me positively? If so, what can we do from there? You know what I mean? A doctor really won't suggest that to you, because a doctor doesn't assume that you'll do it. And before we get out of here, like I said, I can discuss this with anybody who wants to discuss it and stuff. All right. But I would not eat for an entire day and see what that does. I think you drink some water if you get thirsty, but don't eat anything at all and see what that does. All right. And if I had to give a suggestion, my suggestion is to plan for that day. Make sure if you know you're going to fast for an entire day, don't be around food at all. Don't at all be around any food. Don't be in the same room with food. All right. Also, remain busy. Remain busy for the entire day. Do not stop and rest, because that'll cause you to eat. It'll cause me to eat. It causes everybody to eat. Do not stop and rest unless you're very far away from food. All right, and then you can stop and rest, because otherwise you'll get very hungry. Thing is, keep yourself very busy, keep your mind very busy. All right, and then you'll notice that you don't really necessarily have to eat, but if you're going to put yourself in an environment with food and stuff like this, you're going to mess up and eat, and so you're going to have to start all over again. All right, that's the best tip I can give you into initiating that. If you wanted to try and see what that does, and that is for free, and I will talk to you all day about it if you want to, or whatever you want to. But the thing is, I would suggest to anybody out there, Ben Fuchs. That's the first person I would go to all day, every day. I'll holler at y'all later. It's January the 28th, 2018.